Hello, everyone. On today's IRS tax refund update, we'll check in on the latest with those ongoing tax refund delays, including the remaining unprocessed tax returns and amended returns still out there. We'll then take a look at some of the recent reports coming in from taxpayers, including those not receiving their refunds, even though the IRS has sent them. Now, this has to do with some e filers who have used some of the largest online tax filing companies, such as TurboTax, and the problem with the company TPG processing those refunds. And then we'll take a look at the causes of those smaller than expected refunds. Starting off with the next round of tax refunds scheduled for release this week, with the newest batch of direct deposit refunds scheduled to be transmitted to banks on July 12th, as confirmed by the tax transcript seen here. If you're part of this batch, do allow up until July 17th for it to post to your bank account before initiating a payment trace. Now, for those of you waiting on paper checks, the next round of those will be printed and mailed out by the IRS on July 14th. While most will receive theirs within 7 to 10 days, you will need to wait 30 days before initiating a payment trace. Now, once again, the IRS is behind in the reporting of the amount of remaining unprocessed tax returns. However, as of their last update, the backlog remains at 3 million unprocessed returns, which are made up of both e-file and paper returns filed this year as well as last year. E-file returns and those requiring special processing remains at 1.7 million and paper returns at 1.3 million. For you paper return filers, please remember you will not see any update until the processing of your return actually begins. The IRS will not even confirm online that it has been received before then. Meanwhile, amended returns remain at 1.35 million unprocessed, and that number has actually decreased over the last several weeks, which is a good sign. However, processing remains incredibly slow. The IRS is averaging 7 months to process amended returns. However, some can expect to wait over 1 year for theirs to be processed, especially if the IRS requires further documentation. We've heard from one viewer last week that finally their tax year 2020 amended return was completed after 14 months of waiting. More tax returns being processed and refunds being issued, come reports of additional problems involving refunds. Over the last several days, several of our viewers have reposted in the comments section, along with others on social media, of issues receiving their refunds after the IRS has sent them, in particular when TPG, also known as SPTPG, is involved with the processing of their refund. Now, major online tax preparers such as TurboTax and TaxSlayer use TPG, so this has a potential to impact a number of you. These reports state TPG has indicated the refund is now under review, and others indicating that the refund is being sent back to the IRS so a paper check can be issued. So, researching this further, there have been some consistent factors. The first one has to do with the amount of the refund. Generally, it's impacting taxpayers waiting on higher than average refunds, and also those with deposit accounts with non traditional banks, meaning those banks have no physical locations, such as Green Dot, for example, who are rejecting these high refund deposits. However, over the last year, there have been consistent reports from taxpayers that TPG was not issuing those refunds, some being told it was being returned to the IRS due to suspicious activities, while others found getting a resolution extremely difficult. Many taxpayers were forced to file a complaint against TPG with the Better Business Bureau, who has many complaints filed against them in order to get some sort of resolution. So, if you're among this impacted group now or in the future, this may be an option to consider in trying to get a resolution to your problem. Now, if your tax refund is returned to the IRS to be issued as a paper check, allow 4 to 6 weeks after the IRS receives that direct deposit back to receive that check. Now, the best way to track the progress is checking your tax transcripts. Once the IRS receives that direct deposit back, you'll see an 841 transcript code, as seen here, and the IRS may send you this notice, the CP53 letter, confirming a refund check will be sent out by mail. Once it's sent out by paper, look for an 846 code with the date set after the 841 code. Before those refunds are transmitted, we continue to get additional reports of refund adjustments. Now, refund adjustments can be due to past due child support and tax debt. They can also be reduced for simple math errors, including incorrect earnings and taxes withheld, tax credits being claimed by the taxpayer, either they did not qualify for or provide requested proof to the IRS that they did qualify for it. If you're part of this impacted group, you'll receive a CP12 notice indicating the new refund amount and the exact cause of the refund adjustment. And finally, for those of you claiming the fuel tax credit, continue to expect extremely long delays given the amount of tax returns improperly claiming this credit. We've had no updates on those who have claimed the credit actually getting that refund as of this point. While you wait for your refund, it is suggested you gather receipts proving you purchased the amount of gas being claimed, as well as proof relating to how it was used for business purposes in case you're asked by the IRS to provide further documentation. Let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax refund issue, including when and how you filed your tax return. In the meantime, we'll keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.